What's happening, Fresh Bake? Welcome back to the Star Wars Land Report from Galaxy's Edge atop the Mickey and Friends parking structure. We're going to start, as usual, on the backside of Battle Escape from Mickey and Friends, and we'll see that they have obviously completed finally that far wall. The wall is complete, I guess is the way to put it. And otherwise, again, it's about the same as it used to be. Although I do see they are starting to do some prep work along the floor of the back area. There's a hole being dug and some areas being sectioned off. Like footings, I think is the word they use. Things that they're preparing to build stuff on. So it does look like there's advances are being made back there. But of course, this isn't for public consumption. It's not for show. So what we're seeing here doesn't really factor into the guest experience. So I don't know. Again, not much to report there, I guess. Kind of wrap up our pan here. And as we get ready to take a look at the Battle Escape queue section that we've been discussing the last few weeks, we got to do a little before and after on this, because previous weeks we saw those little posts up on the wall, the placeholders. Those, I can't see those now, and I'm wondering if that is because they've built another wall, like it's another layer. We'll zoom in here first, and then we'll take a a freeze frame and compare it to 2 weeks ago. That should be good. So it looks to me like there's that outer layer that faces the rest of Star Wars Land, Galaxy's Edge. Then there's like about a foot wide or a foot thick, whatever you want to call that in between, and then another layer of form, which is typical when you're building forms for the larger structures. I just never seen it really on this smaller scale. So we'll look back. This is just from 2 weeks ago, and agreed. And yes, it does look like they've added a middle layer and then an inside layer to these walls, which I assume is typical for that. But this is kind of, I've never really gotten a look as close as this before of how they build these forms, so that's pretty fascinating. And then as we look back, you can see that nothing has been done on the other side of the path there. Still just the one layer of form, not even really to a wall yet. It's just the wood placeholders, I guess. And then we'll continue on. Now, I have to warn you, as we start to get into this, or finishing this pan and the rest of the pans, it was very, very windy at the top of the Mickey and Friends parking structure, and wind wreaks havoc on your camera when you're zoomed in closely. Even the slightest move, as we switch over to the top of Battle Escape, even the slightest move causes it to move a lot quicker than you want it to. So you can see I am just hauling when I pan across the top of the Battle Escape building. I'm not trying to go this fast, but I can't keep going back and forth, so I have to kind of just go with it. So these scans that I do are going to be a lot quicker than you're used to seeing. It's going to be even more pronounced when we start to look at the peaks from the Millennium Falcon, which we're going to be doing here in just one moment. Yeah, and then, okay, now we're going to start pushing in, and yeah, normally I'm going to take a long, slow look, and I'm just like, meow. Look at that. You know what, matter of fact, I'm going to skip the comparison because it's just covered by tarps. You can't really see much, but maybe we'll do it when we go to Toontown. Here's a long look at the Millennium Falcon. Now, I'm gonna pause here for a second. I don't think I've ever seen that. Looks like almost like insulation there on the lower right on the wall. I'm not sure what that is. Even if we were to, let's try zooming in here with the in post. It starts to get a little pixelated, so it's hard to tell what that is. If that's, it almost looks like corrugated wood or insulation, but of the wrong color. So that's hard to tell what they're doing there. I don't remember them doing that at Battle Escape. All right, so let's resume our scan again. Like I said, this is going to be super fast. Look at that. See that? You can't really. That's the win, man. That's the win. Trust me, I have much more grace and touch than this. It's embarrassing almost. But not a lot to report here, or even to do comparison. All right, enough of that. Let's go to, well, okay, we're going to do our left to right pan here. Now, by the way, before you click off and go watch something else, we got some fun stuff coming up later on in this video, so don't go nowhere, because there is going to be something to talk about that I'm anxious to show you, but this is how we always start, so just be patient with me, Fresh Baked. If you want to skip ahead, you can do that, I suppose. It's just a giant Costco now. There's nothing Star Wars about this, nor will it ever be, which makes me sad a little bit. Okay, I decided to take a run at the train to see if I can't see anything at all from the train. Looking at first, this is the part over the Hungry Bears entrance. There isn't really an image that I can freeze frame here for you, but I can slow it down to give you a longer look at what you can kind of see through the screen a little bit. And then this here is, it's the same look at the peaks here, but you do get a better look actually at the ground from here, which is strange, but it's because we're higher up. Even though you're going to see it through the fence, through that green tarp, you do get a little bit of a look at the ground, a better look at the ground than we have seen in a while. And I'll slow it down here again as well. All right, back in Toontown, and I will do a before and after here, because why not? And we'll stop here. This is about a month ago. This is from the 18th, November 18th, and yeah, I mean, on the one hand, not a lot of progress, but on the other, yeah, there's some progress. You can see new layers in the middle. The middle peak has advanced. It's caught up with the left peak. Before the middle peak had just got its initial meshwork. But again, and to our discussion in previous weeks, still nothing happening on that right peak. It's not going to be finished. But if we continue, along the backside there, I think I'd take a moment here. Well, first we're going to get a close look at this rock. Look at that. Look at that. There's a lot of fine detail going on there. A lot of fine detail happening. So that's advanced rock work there. That's going to be a real live looking mountain here before long. And we still got, what, a year and a half to go? It's catching up, but you can see that doesn't have any of the detail. That's the middle peak. Whereas now here's the third peak. The rear peak does have some fine detail. And again, that's the reason why I don't believe that they're finishing this. For those who think that, is because they wouldn't be so far along on that and then do nothing here. So here's all that exposed stuff that we've been worried about. And the reason why I'm pausing here is because, and I'll pause here, I feel like that's where they're going to put the, whatever it is that's going to obscure that part of the peak. They're going to build something right there that's going to block that view. Okay, well, suddenly we've switched over. We've switched to the Big Thunder Trail, and we're going to get a look at, again, this is just kind of the same section that we've been seeing the last few weeks. That is the same round building. Not a lot of progress here on the ground yet. I won't be showing it before and after here, but I do want to show you this, which I'm about to start. I think once I go up, I'm going to come back down and then slide even further down and to the left. You can see it looks like they're digging a hole in the ground. I don't know what it is. I love holes in the ground. You can see it a lot better with the naked eye, but there you go. You can kind of see something's, I just ran out of panning, but they're building something in the ground right there. And you can't really tell what that is, but I mean, it's something. So I went to Launch Bay on Sunday, and they have a new model. This is where they used to have Ray's speeder. Now they have a new model, which is just a section of the bigger model. And so I thought I'd take a look at that for you guys and just kind of examine it. From what I understand, this is what we're looking at here is right in the middle of your frame is that section of the model right there. And if I'm not mistaken, that's actually the same building that I called a few weeks ago on the first. That's the building that we can see through Big Thunder Trail, the gap in Big Thunder Trail, the scene we just saw. That's the round building that we just saw them through Big Thunder Trail. That's what that section is. So that's kind of neat, right? If that's the same building that we're seeing through the trail, then that's the entrance where those ghosts are standing. Those people are standing right there in the far right of the frame. Then that's the entrance from that Big Thunder Trail path. And then also they have a new preview thing going on where Ryan Johnson and Trowbridge are talking about the construction of Star Wars Land, and I thought I would show these little clips that they showed at the at Launch Bay. And these shots are super old, so they're not really helpful to us today. But some of the flybys that we're about to see are new ways to see the model, new ways to experience what it's going to look like on the ground live. And I'm going to pause when I find one of those that I really liked. When I saw this, I'm like, that's really neat. And I wish they had kind of given this more of a loving look. They're coming up right here.
Amazing universe to life. And in 2019, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is giving our guests the opportunity to step inside that Star Wars universe.
We've seen all this. Now here, right here, this is neat. You're going to be able to walk by. I would imagine it looks like those are people right there in the far left corner or edge of the screen. You're going to be able to walk by these X-wingers and these ships and get a pretty good idea of their size. Now, having said that, if I'm not mistaken, if you want to see those being built, that's what they demoed for us at Galactic Nights. For those, I mean, we've seen some photos come out of there. They demoed those ships from Galactic Nights, and here they are. Right, that's them being built right now. Those X-wingers. Those, look how big they are compared to that dude. So that's, that's life size, and that's probably the same thing that what you're seeing right here, or something like it, on the ground in the land.
Approach to what a theme park land can be. You can meet those characters and
Let's
live
continue.
your own Star Wars story. One of the ways that we're evolving.
You get a lot better idea of how it's going to look and feel when you see these cameras fly through them, as opposed to just taking our naked eye and looking at it from above. So I appreciated us getting those little flyby images of the land.
These theme park experiences is to give guests more of an opportunity to be part of that adventure.
And then we'll wrap with our trip around the Mark Twain. And they didn't have the top deck open. I'm not sure why, so I had to shoot from the middle deck, which isn't quite as good, obviously. So I did my best. I won't do it before and after because I wasn't able to. It's just difficult to discern, get good angles to do a proper reference.
Majestic trees, the stunning rock formations.
And here's our our weekly shot of a train going by. I can't help myself, you guys. And this one's even better because we hit this train. We caught this train right as we were approaching the Native American village. So to get a lot closer look, I got a lot of waivers, which is great. Star Wars Land and trains. There it is. You see Star Wars Land in the back there a little bit, so that makes this worthwhile, right? Lily Bell was very full.
Keep a close eye on the riverbanks. There's a good chance we might catch a glimpse of moose, mountain lions, and other wildlife.
Battle Escape again. I wonder how long it'll be before we start seeing mesh work on that the largest peak. Not much to report on that front side. I mean, it looks like they are putting a little texture on the mountain part on the far right edge of that structure. And then here's the peaks at Millennium Falcon. Again, not a lot to see here. A lot of it's covered anyway. If I recall, I was going to say, I do think I tried to peek through here. You can see some of the structures, the tops of some of the structures being built on the ground, and I'm gone. I've flown away. Sorry, French Bank. Back over here to look at this advancement on the mountain range here at Battle Escape. It looks good. Looks like it's coming along. Very windy day. And I think that's it. It's time for our long pull from Battle Escape down to the Rivers of America with a canoe driver, as usual. Love these shots. Not quite as breathtaking, though, from the middle deck, but still nice, just the same. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Fresh bacon stuff. We've got lots more videos for you to see, so grab a churro and check out some of our other videos and have your mind blown by how much fun we're having. We truly are the best of Disney Bake Fresh Daily. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time. Fresh Baked!